Oh, there we go. Turn the lights on. 8:53 in the morning on Friday. Did not do a live yesterday. Had a bunch of workout related lives, and then on Tuesday I did my cardio in the morning. Today I'm not going to the gym, so my right shoulder is all messed up. So I've been foam rolling and I've been massage balling it and I've been doing everything in my power. It just keeps clicking and it keeps just, I don't know, it's tight and it's jammed. Structurally it should be sound, but I don't know why. Anyhow, so today no gym. So tomorrow I'm going to do my upper body, and Sunday I'm going to do a live broadcast from the gym probably as well. And this morning I just want to do an overall Q&A. If there's any questions, I'm going to walk you guys through my morning stuff again. I woke up 2 hours ago. I've been working ever since, making a couple of phone calls regarding my real estate business, and then now I'm making my breakfast. I'm going to keep this thing going for at least maybe for 2 hours until I have my meeting starting at 11, and we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Let's go check on my my protein pancake, how it's coming along. Try to be a little quiet because my son is here. I don't want to bother him too much with my live content. Looking good. What do you think? Check this out. That looks awesome. And then just notice that, by the way, that the new iPhone is ready for pre-orders today. So I was looking at the Air, and I don't know, I was thinking if I should get another phone and keep the old one keep my old one as a recording device, because I have two SIM cards, so I could run lives with this, and then this is an iPhone 15 Pro, so I was thinking I could use both. So then that Air would be my daily, and then the old one would be the one that I record with, and I could actually keep the live going all the time. It's been a tough couple of weeks, to be perfectly honest. I've had lots of setbacks with business-related stuff, not the new business. I mean, this content creation is a story of its own. And I posted a couple of videos the other day and the day before, a couple of days ago, about what I'm doing there. So in a nutshell, if you didn't see those videos, so in those I summarized my plan going forward, which is to separate my content into two different buckets. This channel is about mindset stuff, personal development, which is close to my heart. And then the other channel is purely, strictly business and specifically real estate. And I have, I think, one long video there. Another one is going to be published today. And this channel obviously is full of my old content. So I'm going to be focusing on two parallel paths simultaneously, which is, I guess, my way of being more specific with my content going forward, and then see how it resonates going, in the future for people. But what I was about to say is that this has been a pretty challenging week because of my legacy business. So I've had my real estate development company for years, and this week it's just been, one of those weeks when you have plenty of setbacks. People call you, there's a problem with this, there's a problem with that, a warranty issue and whatnot. And then on top of that, I received a notification from the local court. One of the buyers that bought like 3 or 4 investment properties from me sued my company for underestimating the HOA fees going forward. What that means in practice is that every time, let's say I had a major renovation project, we pretty much set up a company for that. And then those units became the shares. So that's kind of like the co-op way of doing it. So in the US, if you have a condo, it's basically its own entity. But if I have like a larger project, let's say I have these historic buildings that we end up remodeling, there's 3 separate dwellings, so let's say we put 16 units in there. So that whole structure, or the 3 dwellings, become kind of like one quote-unquote company. And then those 16 units inside that company are like the shares, if you will. And then my company that was the founder of the new company ends up selling the shares, right? So one investor bought 3 or 4 properties from me. I can't remember how many. But when we set up the company, we put the legal structure together and we estimate the HOA fees and whatnot going forward. And then they claimed after the fact that we underestimated the HOA fees, the management structure, and the property maintenance fees going forward. And it wasn't that straightforward, so we sent a counter argument. There was a lot of, that was the time when we had lots of inflation, post-COVID stuff, and also the property manager made some big mistakes, which ended up bloating the fees as well. Anyhow, so now we tried to settle, it didn't go forward, and now I received a note this week from the court saying that the trial date has been set. I mean, that's obviously not something that you look forward to. And then the following day, the buyer who bought the house from me in December, he calls and says that, well, they have now received the reports about the water damage that there had been, because I don't know, just to quickly summarize, I sold the property, I sold my own house, and then 7, 8 months later, fast forward, this couple who bought the property from me, they said that they had found some water damage that should have been detected, should have been reported by me. Obviously, I didn't know about the underlying issue, and now I have to deal with that. So, and of course, you know what all of that means. It means that it's going to cost me money. It's going to be an additional headache, and making sure that I can stay focused. I understand what needs to be done every day becomes a little harder, because what's my signal? What's my noise? Every day when I wake up, that's the first question I have. And obviously, these are distractions. These are away from my main business now. My mind travels elsewhere, and I need to deal with that issue and that stuff. It's okay. It's part of life, and I've come a long way to look at things in a different perspective, under a different light. But still, obviously, it's hard when it's just about, you know, money going out, not money coming in, and you have to deal with things that you were not anticipating. But like I said, that's how it goes sometimes. I'm pacing back and forth here, trying to. My breakfast is ready. But like I said, it's all good. What do we have? So we have the protein pancakes here. This is my morning go-to breakfast pretty much every day. I'll show you in a sec. What else do I do? I'll put there. I'll have, let me show you. Okay, so what we're gonna do is that we're gonna have put some fresh blueberries here. Fresh blueberries. These are good for you, and they are very tasty. Man, the microphone. I, by the way, bought new microphones from Rode. They're smaller. They're the micro version, and they also come with this charging case, which is really convenient. So I think that's gonna make my life a little easier with that. Okay, so let me show you now if there's anybody online. So this is what my breakfast looks like. So that's fresh blueberries, frozen raspberries. The pancake itself is 1 banana mashed together with 4 egg whites, 1 whole egg, then oats mixed in. How much? Like 70 to 80 grams of oats, roughly, eyeballing it, and then 1 scoop of vanilla protein and some cinnamon, and then you mix it all up. You let the dough or the batter stiffen a little bit, and then you fry it. over medium heat in a frying pan. I don't know, 10 to 15 minutes maybe. And that's it. Roughly 50 grams of protein. How many grams of carbs? I don't even know. It doesn't matter. But healthy, good, very tasty. So I'm gonna enjoy this. I'm gonna talk to you guys, and then I'm gonna go to the office. Put this down actually a little bit. Here in my office / bedroom. But I need to go to the office soon. I'll keep this live going and talk to you guys. By the way, crazy story. So I've been saying many times that I'm a big fan of ChatGPT and AI in particular. But man, I lost my mojo yesterday and this morning and the day before. I've been working with ChatGPT on this big file. Well, here's the story. So I have my notes. Maybe you've heard me say this many times, but I have my notes, my journal. It's in WhatsApp. It's basically a conversation with myself that I started in this format almost 3 years ago. Before that, I had my notebooks. And these are the ones, by the way. So these are my journal notes, okay? But then after that, I wanted to make sure that I have the same notes always with me, you know, if I travel, because my phone is obviously synced, but whatnot. So the WhatsApp conversation, I have the desktop version here. Let me just show you. So this is what it looks like, right? So nothing fancy, just a lot of notes, sometimes videos, sometimes you see some of those pictures and whatnot. So then I thought I had this killer idea of exporting the whole chat. You know, there's almost 3 years worth of notes. So that ended up being 190 pages when I put it into a Word document. So then I'm like, okay, so great. So there are a lot of quotes, there are a lot of ideas for shorts and long videos too. So I'm gonna actually attach the file, start a new conversation in ChatGPT, give clear instructions. This is what I want. I want quotes, I want ideas and scripts for shorts, and I want ideas and scripts for long videos. And then at first like, yo, yeah, great. So this is probably gonna take me 10 to 15 minutes. Fast forward, I don't know, almost freaking 48 hours later, I still don't have a comprehensive set of quotes, shorts, and longs ideas. It's been crazy, freaking crazy. So ChatGPT is giving me, and I have the paid version. I'm not even, assuming anybody works for free, but I pay for this service. It's fine. So it just proves the point that we are so far from this AI thing being a real threat, what many people say, in my opinion. So what ends up happening is that I get like these, oh yeah, it's gonna take me 55 minutes, or max 1 hour estimates, literally 5 hours, 10 hours, 12 hours later. I let it run overnight, so I go to bed, and it's giving me a like 100% promise. Oh yeah, this is gonna take me no more than an hour. And I wouldn't want to show the chat the conversation I had with ChatGPT about this, literally. I'm not proud of my way of communicating, but I just, like, it's been so frustrating. It slows me down. What drives me crazy really is when people waste your time. Of course, this is not a person, it's a service, it's tech. It's not supposed to be perfect. Yeah, it's there to help us, support us. But you know the feeling when you just like rely on something, and then you're like, okay, I'm gonna get some valuable data out of this, and then it's just like keeps stalling, keeps delaying. It's like, and this is what I tell people, by the way. If you work with somebody, and this started when I had a corporate job, and I had lots of suppliers that my team dealt with. So I was in procurement, in sourcing, what we called, meaning what we did was that we bought services, parts, whatever the cell phone company that I worked for needed from suppliers in China, Taiwan, Korea, whatever. I always told these people that, look, I don't really care when the deliverable comes. What I do care is predictability. So you need to be able to tell me if you're late, not at the last minute. You need to give me updates, because the most frustrating thing in the world is when you waste other people's time. So don't ever do that. So it's like young people ask all the time, how do I make money? Well, I would, this is the conversation I had in a previous chat or live. Somebody asked me, what's the fastest way to make $1,000 a day? And I would say two things: understand what you're good at, meaning how can I monetize one skill, and then sell that, figure out a way to offer that service to people who have money, because they always are willing to pay for time and convenience. Time is their most valuable resource. The biggest difference between so-called people with poor habits and wealthy habits is that the people with wealthy habits, they protect their time more than anything. They're willing to pay ridiculous amounts of money in order to save time, make something more convenient, make something easier. People with poor habits, they're willing to travel to the other side of the town to buy a cheaper gallon of milk or gas. They don't understand that in the process of doing that, they wasted an hour and a half. You know what I mean? And then they saved maybe $5. That's ridiculous. So anyhow, so long story. So what made me really super frustrated about this AI experience was the fact that I felt that I was wasting my time. Had I known in the beginning that it's going to take me 48 hours to get this thing done, I probably would have been fine with that. I would have been very surprised, because I'm used to pretty fast, feedback loop, right? Deliverables. But had ChatGPT 5 or whatever version I was using told me in the beginning that this is going to be a long process, so don't wait there, that would be fine. Set expectations, meet expectations. There are so many examples. I could go on and on about this, but it's so super important to set the right expectations and then be able to meet those expectations, because that's what trust, that's what brand building, and that's what customer service ultimately, I guess, boils down to. Set expectations, realistic ones, and meet them. Make good promises and keep them all. I don't know, I'm so passionate about this, but it just drives me nuts when it doesn't happen that way. Let's go back and look at it. Yeah, next message, download link. Yeah, this will, no more back and forth. I'll go straight to compiling the quotes pack PDF from your 190 pages of notes. Now I'm literally back to square one. I started 2 days ago. I asked for 3 deliverables: the quotes, the shorts, and the longs. Now I haven't even got a comprehensive first deliverable. Freaking 48 hours later. I don't know, call me dumb. Yeah, it's probably on me. Everything is on me, but it's just ridiculous. Yes, I have used Gemini and Grok as well, but the responses I got were not really that detailed, not comprehensive. So I went back to GPT, because I figured it knows my history, it knows what I'm trying to do, so my chances are better as far as getting something out of it. So another way my bags are stacked here, it's like I gotta move this thing. Yeah, but anyhow, do you guys have any similar experiences? And by the way, if my lips, my teeth, or my mouth gets all blue, it's because of the fresh blueberries. So, but anyhow, what's today's signal? Today's signal is, meaning what's relevant today, is to have my 2 meetings I need to deliver. I have 1 client meeting and a meeting with my social media guy in 2 hours, in less than 2 hours. Those 2 things are important. I also need to start prepping for my next video. I don't know if it's for my real estate channel or for this channel, probably for this channel. I'm thinking of freestyling more and more. The same way I kind of try to do the lives and have a rough script. I never, I never use a teleprompter, to be perfectly honest. I mean, if I have a long video, like the one I just released today, probably 20 some minutes, I put together a PowerPoint presentation because the real estate stuff is more detailed. So I kind of really try to provide some depth. But for the mindset things, I'm gonna probably just have high-level bullets and still try to go deep, but more freestyle it. I don't know. I think we'll see. Let's see. But the shorts, of course, I try to nail them like in 30 seconds. So that there I have to be very disciplined, straight to the point. The hook, the message, the CTA all have to be there. But the long videos, I'm a big fan of raw and real, kind of behind the scenes type of content. I don't know. It's just me, but I think nowadays when we have AI, pretty much the content creation has become so much easier. So I think there's going to be higher and higher demand down the road for people who can provide real content, so that kind of like no post-production, no editing, because it's harder. So that's why I think lives are going to be more and more important. That's why I'm doing them, because I enjoy it and I learn something by doing this, and I hope I can add value. That's how I look at it. But because it's just, I don't know. Well, you guys are watching mine. I mean, my small audience, but still, there's a reason why people gravitate towards seeing other people do stuff. I think it's like the modern way of hanging out. And if the material, the content is too scripted, at least I don't. If I see people like the people I follow, the types of content I enjoy the most is kind of like the behind the scenes. When somebody follows you, let's say Gary Vaynerchuk is a good example. His videos, I'm not a big fan of the videos he does in the office, where he has some guests, kind of call his podcast or whatever. The ones I like the most is where he helps entrepreneurs, he takes calls. Or then when somebody's following him, he's in an office environment, maybe in his car, behind the scenes when he's delivering a keynote speech or stuff like that. I think that's very valuable because you get to see the human side of it and you get to see that other perspective. I think there's something there. And like I said, it's going to be so easy down the road to deliver content just with the push of a button, because AI does that, but live is always live. There's a real person, there's no post-production, there's no edits, all the mistakes show. When you don't find your words, you stumble with your words and you make mistakes, that's human. But that's also why I think it might resonate better. So, yeah, obviously nothing from AI yet. I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna do. This is just crazy. Man. Yeah, like I mentioned, no gym this morning. My right shoulder, my shoulder is messed up. It's been hard from the recovery perspective. It keeps clicking and it keeps like being like almost like out of place, so to say. You know the feeling? It's in my front delt, my rear delt, my lat, my chest. I feel it. So luckily I have a massage appointment on Monday. But I'm going to train upper body tomorrow and then legs Sunday. So back-to-back workouts. So I'll at least, I think I'm going to do a live on Sunday when I do legs. That's my thinking. I don't know if you guys have seen any of my lives, but from the gym, I don't know what your thoughts are. Are they any good? Yeah, I'm eating my breakfast at the same time. What's breakfast? That's why AI is overhyped. There's a good point. Like today, you're struggling with AI. Yeah, I'm struggling with AI, but I also like it a lot, to be perfectly honest. It helps. I mean, this is really the first time I'm super frustrated. I'm like literally like, I have no words for the level of frustration. Like literally, there must be something fundamentally wrong with this. And it's not before anybody says about the size of the document. There was no media involved. It was 190K. It was not even 1 meg, the file. Literally, it was just text. Literally just text. So first of all, I can't put okay, I understand 190 pages is a lot. But given what it's able to do, it can code freaking applications. It can make an application for you from scratch. And if I dump a document there that has 990 pages of only text, and it first of all tells me that no, this is too long. I'm like, what? What the fuck? 190 pages, that's like less than a book. And it can summarize a book for me. There must be something that's like, there must be some sort of freaking glitch that nobody else has seen. Oh yeah, all the time. I do it all the time. I'm doing like literally every single video. If I have a 2-hour live, once YouTube has processed that, I have the transcript and I dump that there and I'm asking AI to summarize it for me so that I can have a good description for my video after the fact. I do it all the time. But this freaking, I don't know, there's something. First of all, it was a text file, TXT file. Then it couldn't take that. I was like, what? Then I turned it into a PDF. No, it could not take that. There was an error uploading. I was like, then a Word document, nothing. Then I had to literally, so because it was too long, I had to take that 190 pages in 7 or 8 sections. Like literally, I selected, copied, and pasted the text into GPT. And then finally I got, then it was able to do a master document out of that. That alone took maybe half an hour. And then after that, I was like, okay, finally, now we have the data. Now you just it should be quick to get the quotes, the shorts, and the longs out of that. And this is now the 48 hours. And it's still, I don't even want to show you the text. I mean, the conversation I've had with them. I mean, I've been using some really powerful words. I mean, anyhow, I don't want to, this is not, this is a first world problem. Yes, it's a first world problem. Yes, nobody died, nobody got sick, so what the fuck am I complaining about? Nothing, you're right. But anyhow, still not acceptable. Like I said, I'm not using a free version. So, at least then tell me that I can't handle this. But don't promise something, that's the point. Make good promises and keep them all. If you ever run a business, if you have a business, I literally believe that today in this world, using real estate construction as an example, so I could do, if I wanted to start a construction company, like a small company that does remodels and bathroom renovations and whatever, you get the point. If I started a company like that today, you know what my value proposition was, or would be? My value proposition would be as follows. I make good promises and I keep them all. That's it. Literally, that's fucking it. So my whole business model would be based on the fact that I do one remodel and I keep every single promise. I would tell the customer that I'm gonna show up tomorrow morning at 8. If I'm 15 minutes late, I text them. When I go for a lunch break, I give them a midday report. This is what we did. I'm going to be gone for 45 minutes. I'll be back at 11:45. Then at 4, 5, 6, whenever I end, I'm like, I'm done for the day. This is what we did. This is what we're going to do tomorrow. I would over communicate. I would set an example where I make good promises and I keep them all. Set expectations, meet expectations. That's how you build trust. Then after the first successful project, no matter, I would probably do it as a flat fee so that there would be an extra layer of predictability so that, the customer gets what they want, risk-free or value to the paying customers always, speed, ease, and risk. How can I deliver what everybody else does, but do it in half the time, make it twice as easy, and make it risk-free? Obviously, reduce the risk is like cost predictability, how much it's going to cost, okay? So then, after the first successful project, I would ask the client, or the cost-paying customer, to write a testimonial, or preferably, I could record a, short 30-second clip. That would be proof. This guy made good promise and kept them all, because this industry, construction, remodel, renovation, is notorious for really nobody making good promises and keeping any of them. That's how I would do it. And I believe there will be a huge success. So, free piece of advice to anybody who wants to do that. And you could do the exact same thing, follow the same exact playbook, starting any business. So you see, your laptop will do it better than AI server somewhere around the world, and it's a simple task. Yeah, probably. You mean like a local, like an AI, what is it called? Like a localized service? Yeah, I think so. By the way, it's a very good point. I have this service called Super Whisper. Would that be able to do it? That's a great point. If I use Super Whisper or something like, that's a localized thing, right? That's a great point. But then it doesn't have the built-in history with me. As far as, because I've been training AI a lot in terms of what I want. That would be the only downside, right? I'm thinking. So going back to the business ideas, this is what people don't understand. And I'm not saying I might understand it either, but I think I do still. We always think the business ideas are overly complicated, but no, the successful ones are simple. They are super branded simple. So if you based your whole business on the assumption, on the value proposition of I make good promises and I keep them all, you over communicate. There's no such thing, by the way, as over communicating. It's called customer service. It's letting people know what they pay for. So you communicate every single step, and you wouldn't scale your business until you have the right people who can do what you do. You don't take on additional projects unless you can keep the promises. That's the thing. I would be curious to know if, yes, predictability is a huge problem. It's predictability and not able to, like, there's no trust. There is no trust. Nobody trusts any contractors. There's like, they have the worst, it's like probably worse than used car salesmen. That's probably pretty bad. Yeah, that's right. But whatever you do, but it doesn't need to be that. It could be something else too. It could be your marketing agency. you let people know. It could be a real estate, I mean, you could be a real estate broker. I mean, think about it. The opportunity is unreal. I mean, okay, let's play this out. Let's say you're a real estate agent, okay, or any service provider. What else could it be? I don't know. Personal trainer, okay, or the real estate agent is the example. So you you meet a client. After the fact, you get their cell phone number or email, preferably cell phone. You send them a WhatsApp after the meeting. Okay, thank you for the opportunity to see your property. Here's what I liked about it. Here are the next steps. And yes, you don't have the listing yet. You summarize it, and for free, without people asking, you provide, comps, tips about selling, lead times, all of that. And then you provide a mini one-page report. You could use AI for this. You could automate all of that, okay? And then you tell in that message, you set expectations. Okay, as promised, during our face-to-face visit, I will get back to you in 2 days with my proposal as far as the list price, commission structure, and how I see, what I see is the best way to sell your property. Then in 2 days, you do exactly that. You keep your promise. Then in that message, when you send the proposal, maybe that's an email, you follow up with the text. In that email and text, you say, okay, thank you for the opportunity. Here's the proposal. I will get back to you in 24 hours or 48 hours, whatever. So you, again, set expectations. Then 48 hours later, you do the exact same exact thing. So you get back, you call maybe this time, and then you follow up. You provide free information. You give. Okay? And let's say what happens if the person says, okay, no, thank you. Somebody else actually indicated that this is worth more, and I trust that guy better. It's like no hard feelings. And then you would actually thank them for the opportunity. And even without the prospect expecting that, maybe a week or two later, you send them something for free again that might add value. Yeah, I saw that you listed the property with another agent. No hard feelings, that's fine. I hope you do well. Here's something for you to consider. Here's something about the market. Here's something about your zip code. Here's something about this. You just give something, without the person expecting that. And maybe 6 months later or 3 months later, you congratulate them on the sale. You follow up on the sale price. Oh, I'm so glad you got what you wanted. And then you follow up again with, let's say, a postcard the following Christmas. Set expectations, meet expectations. Any business can be built around that value proposition. And the list goes on and on and on. There are endless examples how you can just use the same example, whether you are, I don't know, usually better for service business than selling physical products. But even selling physical products, you wonder why Amazon and these guys who are selling physical products, why they do the exact same thing. They send you updates. You think about it, let's say you use these applications nowadays. I mean, Uber is a great example. What's different? What's the difference between Uber and an old-fashioned taxi ride? Well, for the first time, you provide people, you give them instant feedback. In the past, when you ordered a taxi, you call, let's say you're in the city, not New York City, where you wave taxi on the street, but somewhere where you actually call the fixed line and say, hey, I need a taxi. You don't know how much it's going to cost. You don't know where the driver is. And you don't know what kind of a driver, what kind of a car. Uber fixed that with technology. Again, it's setting expectations, meeting expectations. You know exactly where the driver is, how much it's going to cost, what kind of a car, and what kind of reviews. So it's the instant feedback that you get, the satisfaction from that. Same thing with the food delivery services. You order something, you know exactly. In here in Europe, it's the application most people use is Walt, right? So if I order food from a bunch of different restaurants, the first piece of info feedback I get is, okay, now your order has been seen by the restaurant. Now somebody's preparing it, it's being cooked. Now it's being packed, and now somebody is, transporting it. And when they start transporting it to me, I see it's the map application. I see exactly where they are. Same exact thing. It's the same exact thing. It's still underutilized. It doesn't need to be a tech company. Literally, no real estate agent is doing that. There's one company here now that sends me these text-based messages about there's a link about the listing. So it's now being listed. Now there's a new showing being added, but there are no, I would want to get much more frequent updates. So like this one here, they sent me a text on a week ago, Friday the 5th, saying that your property has now been listed on the local quote-unquote MLS. And now yesterday, meaning Thursday, 6 days later, they tell me that there's a new showing that's been added to the calendar. It's for this Sunday. Okay, so 6 days of no updates. The start is good. They understood what I mean, I don't take any credit for that. I know this is not my thing, but I've been helping the founder and the owner. But I don't take any credit for this stuff, but they actually came up with this on their own. But what I would like to see is still, if I was the owner, much more frequent updates, you know? The updates could be about the nearby listings, comps, expected market times, anything. It could be about their partner companies advertising their services. Of course, you have to have the opportunity to filter that out or to opt out from that. But that's how I would do it. So if you're a business owner, I mean, think about it. How you can do that with your business. In other words, let people know what's happening. Yeah. And even if you don't have, and here's the thing, one more thing about this. People think that they should update the customer only when there's something to say. No, you update them every day saying, no new updates. Just want to let you know I'm still here. That's the thing. You can get back to your clients or customers saying, hey, I have nothing new to say. It's okay to say that. I have nothing new to say. I just wanted to let you know I'm still here for you. I remember you. You know, your business is important to me. I'll get back. And again, in that message, you set expectations for the next one. You tell them, when is it that I'm going to get back to you next? In 24 hours or in 48 hours, I'll give you another update. And it's okay again in 48 hours to say, I have nothing new to tell you. Our showing is on time. It's still going to happen. I'm here. We're going to execute accordingly. Yeah. Anyhow. Use if useful, just my way of looking at it. So what's happening? Anybody online? No, right now. I think I'm gonna go next and brush my teeth. Use the bathroom, get dressed, and go to the office. I'm gonna keep this live going. But it's hard to get the last blueberries. Without dirtying your fingers. You know what I mean? Good. That was my breakfast. Okay. Yeah, good comments from Pitt. I think he left, but it's a good idea to stand out from competition, yes. home. You gotta go. Okay, no worries. Take care. I think there's a delay. I think there was like for a moment there were like 0 people online, and then this just popped up. So I don't know. Maybe there was like a 30-second delay with people leaving and text. I appreciate people letting know, even though you have obviously no obligation to do that. But I guess it's the polite way to do it. If you have a conversation with somebody, just let them know. Oh, you ever wonder what am I painting? Yeah, I think it's about 2 naked people. Is it? It's pretty vague. It is. It's from 1998, apparently. I had that painting. I guess I got that from my ex-wife when we divided the assets, so to say. Assets. Maybe I got the short end of the stick. My ex-wife, by the way, speaking of the devil, it's funny. I was just mentioned my ex-wife. She just texted me saying that she's selling her property. We're the best friends now, by the way. So just like FYI, find a way. I mean, I'm of the opinion that if relationships go south, it doesn't mean that people need to be fighting, you know? It's like when you break up with someone, of course, if you don't have kids, there's really no reason to just hang out as friends, right? But if you have kids together, like me and my ex-wife, it's obviously, in my opinion, in everybody's best interest to make sure that, I mean, you're close. I mean, obviously not intimately, but like you support each other and you're there for each other, of course, in a different way, but especially for kids to see that sometimes adults, they don't need to, their relationships could be different. First, it starts as a romantic relationship, and then it's more like a friendship going forward. So anyhow, I got divorced maybe, what, I don't even remember. Let's say 8.5 years ago, 9 years ago. And ever since, of course, we had our tough times in the beginning, but ever since my second, I had a long relationship after that. When that ended over 3 years ago, ever since especially, and maybe 4 or 5 years ago, it really shifted and changed. So we're really good friends now. And anyhow, so that the point is that she's selling her property. I mean, she bought one of the, I had a big renovation project. We turned this old daycare center, believe it or not. It's a crazy story. So this old daycare center, 3 different buildings, we turned into apartments, 16 apartments, like a townhouse thing. Historic renovation, meaning the exterior was protected by the historic department. So we could not make changes really. So we remodeled everything, but it had to be look original, right? Original materials and stuff like that. So anyhow, it was a good project for me. And then the location of that, the project was like maybe half a mile from my house, less than half a mile from my house. So the kids were able to go back and forth. And then I was able to really kind of not give, but she was able to buy 1 3-bedroom unit, townhouse unit from me for a really good price. And then good for her, of course. And now it's too big for her. And she's just plans to sell it. And she has an offer accepted. And she just texted me that there was like a, call it property inspection, like a mini property inspection where they mostly inspected the bathroom so that there's no water damage, moisture and whatnot. Well, there's always moisture, but you know what I mean, like no major defects or issues. So she just texted me saying that it was okay and everything was so well made, well put together. I guess there are sometimes happy customers too. So, but anyhow, good for her. So now we actually went to see another condo for her yesterday, which is probably gonna, I don't know if she's gonna buy that. I don't even know if she's gonna make an offer. I have a feeling that she will. And then she's gonna be pretty close to me again, like half a mile. So the kids, it's easier for the kids to go back and forth, and it's good. Well, my son has been staying with me only, but our daughter goes back and forth. So anyhow, it's all good. Point being that we don't have to be fighting with people, even though sometimes the relationship could be different. I'm going to text her back real quick. And by the way, nothing still from ChatGPT. Takes a long time. Again. Yeah, so let's see what we're going to reply back to her. Good. That's what we replied. Did you ask? I was just asking her about the contingency because her offer, there's a 60K down payment or like an EMD, earnest money deposit. It's going to be put into escrow, into an escrow account, and then according to the schedule, it's like end of November. I'm like, what the fuck, man? Why would it take 2.5 months to get that transaction completed? Anyhow, it makes no sense, but I'm guessing that there's a contingency. There's a contingency for the owner, for the new buyer, meaning that they want to get their own property sold first, and I'm guessing that's their deadline. So that explains it. So, that's good. That's very good for her. My life, there's nothing but issues right now. I just said in the beginning, for those of you who probably were not online, but I've had a rough week. I mean, this year has been super fucking tough. Oh man, with my real estate business, it's been just nothing but complaints here and there. Just like, I just got sued. Yes, I have another pending lawsuit. Why? I mean, it's a different story. There's always, I mean, when you're an entrepreneur, it's only a matter of time before you get sued. I mean, I haven't done anything illegal. That's not the point. I just got sued, and I just got heard back from the buyer who bought my house in December that there's some water damage, moisture damage in the bathroom. It's like, fuck. I have to deal with that. So, you know, it never goes away. The only way is to learn how to get comfortable with the uncomfortable and learn how to enjoy that. That's it. You know, I'm gonna get dressed here real quick. Just leave the mic here. I'll be right back. And a note from my social media guy that a video has been published, so go take a look at my new real estate channel, EJ Suvan's Real Estate. That's where it's at. So if you're into that type of stuff. And no, I'm not going to show my naked body in these lives, so that's not the purpose to get views. Okay, done. That doesn't take long. Maybe the sweater is easier to use with the mic. Yeah, just speaking of the microphones, I ordered a new set of Rode mics. They are the, I don't know if we have any content people here. online. Let me show you what I ordered. Shopify, keep your. Yeah, I also ordered this, whatever you call it, vacuum iPhone magnetic holder for cars and other surfaces. That because when I'm driving, because I'm going to do much more lives going forward. So now that I'm driving, it's like I don't have a place. I can't put the phone anywhere. I can't have this freaking stand. I mean, look at this thing. This is the thing I have now. This thing here. So, when I now walk to the car soon, I'm just not gonna have this stick, this tripod inside my car. I need like a holder thing. And if I also go to the gym, wouldn't it be cool to just like have that magnetic thing, like attach it to a post somewhere, a machine, like metal post, whatever, a pillar. I think that would be cool. So I ordered that. Plus then, what I was really saying was that yeah, these, I'll show you. It's these micro, just checking where oh, they arrived here in the country last night. They've been processed. Probably get them on Monday. Yeah, I'll show you what I ordered. You know this stuff? You know these mics? So this thing here, it's supposed to be smaller. And this, I mean, I have this like, it's like a cable. So this thing is like it's the bottom connector thing. This is the receiver, and these are the two transmitters. But these are pretty tiny if you look at it. So I kind of, and most importantly, it has this charging case, which I think is really convenient. So instead of like figuring out how much charge I have now all the time and plugging them individually into my charging, into my charger, now I just can put them in the charging case. Oh yes, I know it's a simple thing. Of course it is a simple thing, the most simple thing ever, but still, I mean, I'm a simple guy, so I just have to satisfaction come. Fuck, this is so, you see what happens? It's like, anyhow, all good. No, it's by the way on discount, on sale. No, it's not. Oh yeah, it is. Fucking paid 130 and now it's 104. Fuck, what the fuck? Whatever. Yeah, I would have saved 30 had I waited. I wonder if they have this thing that, you advertise it and say, okay, I could return this and buy it again and, save 30. I don't, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Okay, so lots of random thoughts today. So let's keep this simple. So what's my signal for today? What's the most important thing? Because if you are an entrepreneur, if you are a person who is overwhelmed, like we all are, always, just ask yourself, start your day by asking yourself, okay, what's today's signal? What's that one thing I need to do? You probably have 15 different things that you got to take care of. Your wife or your partner is yelling at you, for doing this, for doing that. There's like a bunch of different fires here and there. It's like, but what is the thing that you need to do that moves the ball forward? Because I think our ability to say no is in direct correlation with the success we have in life. Because when you have enough stomach, when you have enough courage to say no to all the distractions, meaning block 90% of all the bullshit in life, that's called noise, and understand what signal, you have already a good starting point, and then the rest is execution. But most people fall short when they don't even know what's signal and what's noise. That's the first thing you gotta do. It's the first thing you gotta do. No, what I'm going to do now is use the bathroom, brush my teeth. I'll be right back. Hold that thought. There's nobody online now. Perfect time to go. Okay, I'm back. Just brush my teeth. Yeah. You know what I'm gonna do now? I'm gonna go to the office. I'm gonna go to the office, keep this live going though. Okay, my just ex-wife texted me saying that. It's actually the 14th. Just texting my social media manager about he's saying that he's published a video, so go take a look at it. So it's on my other channel, EJ's One Real Estate. He's saying it's a good video. I don't know if it's a good video. Time will tell. Yes, can do that. I'm still thinking all of this through. It makes my head spin a little bit because of 2 channels and 2 very different sets of titles and topics. Okay. This AI thing is just like, you guys who are not online, you didn't hear me talk about this. Fuck, man, what a disaster. ChatGPT 5 paid version, yes, I know. I'm not expecting anybody to work for free, but the problem is that I've been literally for 48 hours. My own journal notes that were in WhatsApp that I exported into Word document, 190 pages of text only. Okay, yeah, it's a lot of text, but still. Oh my dear God. Oh my dear God, I don't even want to go there. Every time I feel like I close my laptop, it's probably gonna stop doing that shit in the background. Who has freaking 6 hours of time to wait by his laptop and just do nothing? Well, I don't think anybody's expecting me not to do anything, but still, freaking ridiculous. Absolutely nuts. Okay, so that was another phone call. I don't know if it disconnects the live, but I'm gonna get going. I'm gonna keep this thing going. We will move to my office, so I just want to make sure that I have everything turned off here. Stove's not on, fridge closed. What do I need? Oh, I gotta take this shit here. One bill to pay. Gotta put my sunglasses on. Hang on a sec. Hang on a sec. Gotta grab my shoes. Gotta grab my shoes. Put the shoes on. Put the shoes on. Yeah, it's not summer anymore. Yesterday was summer. Today is just. Today is more of a regular day. It starts to feel like fall. You know what I mean? I got my stuff. I got my stuff. Just probably gonna
This is probably gonna, what am I trying to say? I'm trying to say that my Wi-Fi is gonna transition over to 5G, so hopefully it doesn't get disconnected. It shouldn't, it doesn't usually do that, but just saying. Here we go.
Oh, live is great. You get to do lives, something that you would have. I mean, had anybody told me 2 years ago that I'm gonna be doing lives, showing my ugly face to everybody, talking about lighting and everything, I would not have believed you. Why did I change my strategy? Why did I go from somebody who's completely flies under the radar intentionally, doesn't show his name or face anywhere, to somebody who's trying to create a personal brand and talk about everything and anything in life? Fuck. Why did I change my why did I change my strategy? That's a good question. Two reasons. Finally understood the power of social media. It's raining, by the way, if that's not obvious. The second reason is that I understood that this was for my own, because of my limitations, weaknesses, and shortcomings. Insecurities is the right word. I noticed that that was the main reason why I was nowhere. So I wanted to challenge myself. I wanted to see. Let me adjust this a little bit. I wanted to see what I can really do, because that's who I am ultimately. I want to get better. When I run out of time, when I'm truly out of time, not just like out of time, but truly out of time. You know what I mean? When I have to punch my ticket, in other words, I want to make sure that I don't have any regrets. And this was one of those things that I just asked myself, and I was like, okay, real talk. So if I never ever challenge myself in this regard, I would regret it the rest of my life. And then I was like, okay, fuck. Then there's no other way but start creating content so that there's no regret. So just to see how good I can be in this front too. That's how I've always been in my life. Starting when I was 19, when I moved to the US for the first time, I'd never been to the country. I had no clue what the heck I was doing. And after, I mean, the same thing with all my professional resets, starting companies from scratch and stuff like that. That's why I've been doing it, just to challenge myself. My my aunt called me yesterday, the day before I had my birthday. Yeah, no need to say happy birthday. It's okay. It's 2 days late, but it doesn't matter. So she was like, "How's it going?" I was like, "Yeah, it's good. It's good. I'm just doing this and that." And I just said that it's hard. What I'm doing right now professionally is super hard. This is my third reset, literally from scratch as an entrepreneur. And every time I've done it, it gets harder and harder. So this third is by far the hardest reset I've ever done. So then she's like, "Yeah, that's always been you. Like not doing nothing the easy way." I'm like, "Yeah, that's you're right. Why does it have to be easy? But if it's easy, then it means that you're in a comfort zone. And if you're always in your comfort zone, you don't grow." I don't know. Nobody online to hear me rant about this thing, but that's just the way it works. And we drive to the office now. So you just heard me talk about professional resets, why it's fucking hard, why it's supposed to be fucking hard, and why I've never done anything the easy way in my life. I think the reason why people try to do things the easy way is because they try to avoid those hard feelings, those bad feelings of being clueless, being overwhelmed. And I think the key is to ask yourself, why is a quote unquote bad feeling a bad thing for you? No, I don't think it has to be. I think the bad feeling or sad feeling or being overwhelmed or being exhausted or whatever can be the best thing ever. That's how I look at it. Why? Because that's how you grow. It's a unique experience like anything else.
Doesn't mean that it's a bad thing for you. I mean, believe me, I mean, this was not easy for me 20, 10, even 5 years ago. I've come a long way myself in changing my opinion on this. A long way. A very, very long way. These are prescription sunglasses, so I'm not trying to be cool or cooler than I am. That's not the point. Yeah, it's cloudy and rainy. Why do I wear sunglasses? Because I see better. That's I can't even work. I can't even speak. That's just the reason. Yeah. So I really look forward to Monday when I have my massage appointment. Now I know exactly what spot, which muscles to massage. Go really deep, like have a deep tissue massage because my right shoulder is just in bad shape right now. I press this one spot in my lat, my right lat, and it's like it radiates like the pain. I can feel the pain in my delts and in my traps. It's crazy how everything is connected. It's crazy how everything is connected. Yeah, I really look forward to getting that magnetic holder for my car. As you can probably see, this is probably not the most secure way of driving or safe. This is not probably the safest way to hold the phone here. Um, I have a friend coming over tonight, so maybe she can massage my lats, my shoulders. Oh my god. Yeah, and the new iPhone, like I said, people who, I don't know if any of you were here in the beginning, I mentioned that the new iPhone was released. So I think they start taking the pre-orders today, right? Have you heard that? If anybody's into that, I'm not a big, I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not a big tech guy, but I saw the Air. Wouldn't that be pretty cool to have a thin phone like that? The only thing is that, since I have two SIM cards now, and so every time, so in the past, the reason why I couldn't do lives anywhere else but in Wi-Fi environments was because I couldn't figure out why my 5G always got disconnected. And the reason was this. So I have two SIM cards. So I have to always disable the other one. So the other one is an eSIM and the other one is a physical SIM. So maybe I buy that new phone and actually um, just use two simultaneously because I could then have the live going on using the other phone, and then I don't have to disable anything, and then I just basically use the other one. That would be cool. And even when I record my longer videos, I could just, I don't know if I use the phone for anything, but yeah, I could have my notes there. I could tap into that. I mean, that would be cool. Expensive as fuck, but we'll see. Maybe I call my guy. I have a go-to guy for all the tech stuff. Maybe that's what I do. Because I mean, I have a good excuse because I'm a content guy nowadays, so I need the latest gadgets, right? Right? Don't you think? You know what drives me nuts here when driving this freaking car is people like so unpredictable. Like when you are in traffic, you gotta react. You just gotta get going. And I think traffic overall is a microscopic view of the society overall. Like you see the way people behave in traffic, that tells you pretty well how they are in life overall. If you're slow to react, if you like hesitate, you're careful, you're afraid, that's how you are in life too. Zero patience for that shit. Yeah, I mean, you see the real me. This is how I am sometimes when I just like drive. No reason to filter any of that shit. So, this is my humble. Welcome to my humble office. This shit is crazy. time is it? 10:13. So I'll be here for what? A couple of hours, right? Yeah. So set the parking. Yeah, here in Finland, you have certain parking areas. I don't know if any other country has this system. So you have paid parking, and then you have these parking spots, like here in the office building. This is the parking area. So I think it's a pretty good system. So there's a limitation. So you could hire a private parking company to monitor the use of your parking spots, right? So instead of giving assigned parking to anybody, what you do is that you just like dictate the terms. So here we have a 3-hour limit. So when I arrive, I have this, call it a clock or this whatever rotary thing. You set the arrival time and then you put it on the windshield. It's actually pretty convenient. So then I have 3 hours of free parking. What happens after 3 hours? I gotta basically move the car to a different parking spot here, and then I just reset that clock. That's how it works. It's actually pretty convenient. Not many. It's not not prime locations never have this, but some like office parks or some street parking has that too. Usually it's a 2-hour limit, but I think it's a pretty convenient way of regulating that a little bit so that people just don't leave their cars there overnight or for an extended period of time. So let's get going. I'm gonna go inside.
Right. In an ideal world, we would have a bunch of questions right now. Life's not always perfect, so that's fine. That's perfectly fine. I'm grateful for anything and everything. So, whatever I get, I always take. Door's locked. Door is locked. Life wisdom. Life coaching, right? Am I a life coach or am I a business coach? That's the question that I've been asking myself. I can see myself doing both. Actually, the way it usually goes with my clients is that I find myself doing more life coaching than business coaching, to be perfectly honest. But with some people, it's different. I have one client who's an architect in San Francisco, and with him, it's mostly business coaching. Another client in Dallas, they have a vet clinic. That's also mostly business coaching. A couple of other clients, one real estate guy, one, I would say, a corporate type person that's definitely more mindset or life coaching. So I guess it depends. So right now it's 50-50. But it seems, based on the experience that I've been getting from these, the first reaction is that it definitely seems like, can you by the way hear? I guess the audio is fine. I'm hoping. Maybe I clip it here. I guess the first comment is that I think, I don't know what the fuck I was saying. I guess the first point is that when I do my morning workout lives, those seem to be more popular. So the visual content seems to be